Yes, people, what's going on? Welcome back to Above the Knee with me, Liam Loftus, and of course, my man Jay Extended. Jay, how are we?
I'm looking forward to this.
You hanging in there? No, you're not. You're not feeling
I'm hanging in
100%, but
there.
you're hanging in there.
I'm hanging in there. More than you believe. More than you believe.
And we sound like Pep out here. And we are joined by hashtags Alex Bailess. Alex, how are you?
Hi, I'm good, thanks. I'm excited to be here.
So
Virtually.
Yeah.
Let's talk your football journey. You've been playing football for a long time. So what was your entry point into football?
I don't actually remember starting playing because I was really, really young. But I remember in primary school just playing with the boys at break time or whatever. And then my mum said that one day I just came home and I was like, all the boys are playing for the local team and I want to join. So I went. That must have been under sevens, under eights, youngest age group that you can start at. I just remember I absolutely loved it. We were just playing on the boggy pitch, and I actually still live in the area now, and all the kids still play their games on the green where I live. So yeah, bit of a throwback. And then I played in a game where actually there was a scout from Leyton Orient watching, and there was a girl on the other team as well, who I know is still playing, and we both got invited to trials at Leyton Orient at the time. And I feel because it wasn't as big then, with the academies, I didn't really know what it was. You don't see stuff on Twitter, obviously. So yeah, then I started playing for Leyton Orient from under 10s when it was a centre of excellence until 14s, and then just played with my mates after that, sort of at school. And then when I was 16, joined Braintree Town Ladies, who I don't even think have a women's team anymore. But they were actually playing in Tier 4 at the time, which is the level that the team I'm with is at now. Back in the day, it was called the South East Combination. And that was sort of my first real women's football experience at a decent level. And they'd come up through all of the leagues. They've been promoted 5 times back to back. They were a really, really tight team. So it was really nice to be a part of that. Uni, played there. Came back, and then I had a few mates from back in the day at Braintree who were playing for a team called C&K Basildon, who were actually in the equivalent league. Went there, joined the development team. We won the league as a dev team, and let me tell you, it was the best year of football in my life. Even though it was only a development team, we were such a close-knit group of girls. And I still remember last game of the season, we played against Portsmouth away. And whichever one of us won the title. So it was always going to be a huge game, and it was a battle. And even though it was really, really tight, going into the game, I think we ended up winning 5-0. So yeah, great day. And then that's sort of when things got a bit weird. So a lot of the first team and the manager left. We became the first team, which were playing in Tier 3 at the time. Probably weren't quite ready to be in that league. I'm talking 10-0 losses every week. We were getting absolutely battered. But that shows a sign of a close team, doesn't it? We didn't fold. We kept going. Made it through the season. Obviously got relegated. And then things got a bit spicy after that with the hashtag merger. But I'm sure we'll come onto that later. So yeah, that's how I ended up playing for that team in the women's level, and we were renamed AFC Basildon at the time. That's where I was last playing before things sort of came to an end. Yeah, big journey.
So playing so was it all the whole development team that when you just got a call and you're you lot are now our first team, or was there rumblings? Because it's sort of this might happen.
I won't get too much into it, but yeah, it was a bit more than that. And it ended up, I think what happened was because the manager left, a lot of the first team girls were obviously loyal to him, and left as well. And then, yeah, it was a call to make. Do we leave and join another team? Do we just go for it? And the majority of girls, decided we wanted to go for it. And we lost the owner, the guy that was funding the club. So then some of the secretary, some of the guys that were coaching the younger age groups, our physio, they actually came together and put their own money in to keep it going. We were so it could have folded or could have, we made it through. And like I say, tough season, but driving, because obviously it was Tier 3, so we were getting the coach to Cardiff. like all on the Sunday, getting absolutely battered and getting on the coach home again. That was great.
At the same time, though, like, regardless of like losing games and stuff, you must like still like a massive achievement, like to have stepped up and then, like you said, to see the season out. Like, 'cause it would have been so easy for them to be like, oh, like this ain't going very well. Like, we can sack this.
Yeah, exactly. Go elsewhere. But I mean, for me, my favourite thing about football, about playing football, one, competing for the ball. Like, I love 50-50. Do you know what I love? Playing CDM, going up for a header from the opposition goal kick. Like, I just love that side of it. But also just like being part of a team. Like, I love the feeling, you know, when, say, like, I don't know, someone's messed up and you're all running back and your teammate, like your centre back, like makes a good last ditch tackle, stop them from scoring. And that minute where you look at each other like, oh my God, phew. Like, I just love that side of football. I love being part of a team. And I think if all I wanted was glory and to win, and then it probably wouldn't have been the place to stay. But for me, like, that's what I love about football. And so obviously it's harder to stay as a team when you're getting smashed. But yeah, we just wanted to be part of the team, and we stepped up. Didn't really pay off because we got relegated, but hey ho, we're still here, still playing.
Still did it. Held your head up. Held your head up high.
Exactly.
You know what I love? Like, well, actually, I don't love it because at the same time I hate it. Like, we were like that when I was younger. We were like in a big cup run and ended up like getting to like semi-finals, and we got like smashed. Like,
really?
Like, honestly, to the point where like goals were going in, and I was like, I'm gonna laugh, like, because if not, I'm gonna cry. Like, I'm not got a clue. Like, and it was like all like the cliche sayings, and it's like we're like 11-0 down, and it's like, right, heads, it's like heads
0-0, it's 0-0.
And it's like the slide dig. Someone makes a mistake, and it's like a slide dig out of nowhere, and you're like super awkward. And then you're like, right, changing rooms, and the manager's like, well, I don't know what to say. And you're like, let's look at the bed. Look, it wasn't all bad. So, come on, bro, sit down. It's like, it wasn't all bad, but I think that's the same with me. Like, I miss being part of a team more than anything. Like, football is like, I don't like being cold. Like, I'll be honest with you, I don't want to be out in the rain in the cold. No, that's not what I want to do.
I'm still training every week. I like the girls.
Yeah, also, but you said that you like winning headers from goal kick. That's I duck that every time. That comes up. I'll back in like a header drop. No way.
What position do you play? Or did you play?
Me?
What position?
I used to play left back, but I used to get like thrown in the middle. Like, if we needed numbers, it's all right. Everyone like go CDM.
Yeah. I liked to play CDM, and then Jason came along, who's our current manager, and he demoted me to left back.
How does that feel when you get like moved position? Because it's like, do you kind of relish it, or is it kind of like okay, I'm going to learn what this is?
Yeah, for me at the time, there's always a lot of people competing in the middle, isn't there? Like, that want to play there. And I'd probably say I wasn't the most confident on the ball. I just like running around and working hard. And I just said to Jason, look, you've like seen me play. If you think I can play there and you're willing to coach me in it, then fine. Like, I'm happy with that. I just want to be on the pitch. So yeah. I did enjoy it. There was a lot of doggies, and then I quite quickly found out I probably shouldn't be doing all that running. But yeah, if you want to play, then you've got to be versatile, haven't you? Like, especially at a high level of football. I'm willing to learn new things, I guess.
Yeah, everyone always gets dumped left back. The same as me. No one grows up wanting to be left back. Although, like, growing up, it's like you could have wanted to be like Ashley Cole was decent. So you could want to be like Ashley Cole, but at the same time, listen, I wanted to score goals. No one cared if you had a good game at school at left back. Like, no one asks.
No. That's not a glory position, is it? You can't have flashy boots if you're playing left back.
Yeah.
You can try. You can definitely try. I used to think like one of my favourite pairs of boots I got from this. I don't know if this is illegal, but like I got just out of like Lost and Found, and then like
that really sounds illegal.
It's like, well, it wasn't like. Yeah, so I just forgot my boots, and my teacher was like, "Oh, like go to Lost and Found to get some boots."
Oh, okay.
And I got them, and I was like, "These are the best boots I've ever had."
Did you keep them
for like 2 years? Yeah, I kept for like 2 years, mate.
Theft. That's fair.
Why is that theft? I didn't have any boots.
They're lost property. You put them back after you're done with them.
Keepers, come on.
Yeah, they're boots. I used them. I sold them or nothing.
That is hilarious. That is very
funny.
Do you remember like the Rooney's like T90s?
Oh yeah.
Like them ones.
Were they the yellow ones?
That. No, they were like with like the maroon like faceplate.
Nice.
They were banging, and then I was like, the first time I was like, I'm the man, and everyone was like, them boots are sick. I was like, yeah, cheers.
Yeah.
Where'd you get them from?
I was like, oh, they were free. I felt like a legend. I was like, may as well have been sent these.
Yeah. No, I just like plain black Predators all day. It's so comfortable. I just love them. Always have. Always been Adidas boots.
Is that your go-to boot still, Predator?
Yeah. I mean,
I've
I
got
did
like
mix
you
it
can
up,
sort
but
of
I got
see
some
it, the
blue
new
ones.
one.
Yeah, I want
it.
the new ones. Yeah, no.
And they
actually,
are...
to be fair, the new Predators, I would go away from black. I really like the blue ones, like the blue and red. They're really nice.
yeah, that is sick.
I'd go away from black for that.
I did a piece on like football boots with Jay Mike. I don't know if you heard of him. He's like a boot reviewer, and like football boots now, mental, like so crazy, like all the stuff about them, and it's like, and he's like, oh, like they've got this one's got spikes on to help with the swerve, and I'm like, I've not got swerve in my ability, like I've got flat pass.
It's not in my locker.
I'm like, I can't do that. I don't need to add swerve. Like that's something I'm not trying to do, and it's all a bit nuts to me. Let's talk hashtag though. Like, so when like the merger, what was that like on your side and like the side of the team?
Do you know what? Because of COVID, it's so weird to like think about time, like how long it's been and stuff. It's been really, really weird. But yeah, so I can't even remember how we first got told. I think we'd obviously seen that hashtag had put out tweets saying that, I don't know if you saw this like way back, saying that they were looking for like a women's team to be a part of, and it wasn't really clear whether that was like as like a sponsorship or like a sister club or what. So I assume that like our club got in touch. Basically what happened was we didn't know about it. There was obviously a big announcement on here, but just before that, Spencer had made kind of like a video with like a bit of a presentation, a bit of talking, which we got on through like a Zoom. Obviously, this was like COVID. Yeah, I think it was COVID times. Yeah, it was actually, because we didn't get to train for ages once we'd found out. And obviously we were all absolutely buzzing, and some of the girls had heard of them, some of them hadn't. Like I'd seen some videos, but I didn't like follow them like religiously. But we knew it was big, but I don't think we knew how big. But obviously it was really exciting. And then when the actual like video was posted announcing it on their YouTube, and we saw the comments and stuff, we started to like realise like sort of what was going on. But then, like I say, it was really big because obviously we couldn't train for ages. We didn't actually see anyone. We didn't meet any of the guys. We didn't meet Spencer. We came back doing sort of one-to-one coaching sessions, and then obviously we could talk about it a little bit more. And then it wasn't till like proper pre-season that obviously we got like kit and went and took pictures and stuff like that. Oh yeah, that was it, because some of the girls got sent kit and someone went around and took a picture like on their doorstep just so that they could do like the announcement.
Like the delivery people.
Like the delivery guy, got DPD coming round.
Yeah, exactly.
Making sure you got the kit.
Honestly, like it was so exciting, and I think probably at this point we still didn't really realise. And then because I was like still captain at this point, I think it was like BBC Radio Sport or BBC London Sport, and wanting to do like a bit of an interview on the radio. And then I was like, oh, this is like national radio. I was like, oh, maybe this is a bit of a bigger thing than I really thought. And then it just went from there really. And I think there's still so much more to come on the pitch and off the pitch as well. It's really exciting. So yeah, more and more people are starting to follow, I think, and see more and more women's football, which is obviously so important. And hopefully it's inspiring some younger kids as well, younger girls. So yeah, it's just going to go from strength to strength, I think.
I think the hashtag is like, I find a bit of like a crazy like phenom. Like, no, when you look through the comments and like from my perspective, like I think they're really good. They seem to do everything right. They take all like the correct steps. Like they're really like community-wise, they're really good. And then you see like people like complaining about them and stuff. I'm like, I don't really understand where this comes from and bits like that. And
yeah, I mean, I don't know whether, I don't know if it's a bit of jealousy or maybe a lack of understanding of like what it's doing. Maybe people just see the videos and think, oh, they've only got this because, but that's what it's about. Like, that's the point. It's about promoting football. surely if you are a true football fan, surely that is a good thing. And I think maybe some people miss that. I don't know. But yeah, like I say, a lot of what they do is like, it's so thought through, isn't it? And there's a lot of community stuff. Obviously now there's all the younger age groups as well coming up. They do charity stuff as well, and there's some more charity stuff coming up. And actually they've been really inclusive, like with the girls as well, even though, like I said, to start with, it was really difficult because of COVID rules, restrictions. They've made a real effort to make us part of the club. But yeah, I don't know what people's problem is sometimes. I know to start with, like, people were commenting on the men's performances, but they'd only just been promoted into this league, like, and now they're looking at playoff places. So I don't know. People are always going to find a problem.
I think it was jealousy, and I also think people don't like seeing things progress sometimes, especially like social media. Like, I think there was always hashtag won't be able to do this, then they do it. They're not doing this, they do it. And I think like people don't like how, like, I guess sustainable hashtag is, and just how it continues to do different things. And people wanted it to fail because it's just not something they came up with, not something that they're used to. And it's like, people need to understand times are changing. Like, thankfully there is things like hashtag, and it's going to inspire other teams and stuff like that. And I'm always down for any team that recognizes the women's side of things. And even how like they did the hashtag academy for the women as well. It's like things like that, that's never been done before. Like, especially if you think from a YouTube team and like how they've evolved from a YouTube team, like you have nothing but to like give your hands to them.
Yeah, I do think it's, people think like social media, even now, people think like social media is a phase and it's going to go away. And I guess like football is one of the like key pillars of this country. Like, it's all like, it's, for as long as a lot of people will know and remember, it's always been there. So it's like, oh, this new thing comes in, everyone's like, oh, well, social media is not going to last. And you're like, well, it has. It is. And it's like, oh, okay, but now you're trying to get into something super traditional like football. No, you can't. We can't mix them. And it's down to, I don't want to say it is, because I obviously don't know. I don't want to speak for them people, but from the outside looking in, it's very small-mindedness. Like, and it's just, it doesn't directly affect you. If you don't understand it, okay, cool. And hashtag are probably the best people to, if you don't understand it, like, go to them. Like, there's so many people involved across the board. Like, you could just tweet someone and ask, and I mean, there's probably videos. There's like this one thing that like they're ridiculous at is content. Like, you just go have a look or ask, and they probably would do a video on it. Like, and it's just, to me, it's just small-mindedness, and just, it doesn't affect your life. Like, and they're doing something positive. Like, relax.
I know, and like I say, it's the same with anything. Like, people are always moaning, like finding things to moan about with different teams, but if you are a true football fan, then you should like the game being promoted, no matter who it is. You're always going to have rivalry with teams in your league, or like local teams like derbies, but that's separate to football as a whole and to what a club is trying to build. And I think, like you say, sustainability is really important. Like when you're talking about social media, because they've got so many different routes going. I think it will continue. I think it can only grow, and they're very versatile in like taking on different things. Obviously TikTok at the minute, they've done a bit on Twitch, things like that. And like you say, maybe because a lot of people are trying to make it at the moment, they don't like seeing other people that maybe haven't been in that area yet then doing well in that area, just because they've got already that background on YouTube or whatever. But yeah, I don't know. And I think the other thing is, like with hashtag, a lot of it, like with doing vlogs as well, rather than just professional filming, is about showing people as a character and as a person. So it is a way of bringing sort of that level of football closer to home, like particularly the women's stuff as well. Like, now there's getting more and more WSL content, isn't there, and championship content, but lower down, like people that are aiming for like similar level of football to what we play, or even lower, like it's just being able to see what a day-to-day is like, or what a game day is like. It should be making it seem more accessible to people. You see what I mean? So they should be able to relate to it a bit more. So yeah, you're always going to get a bit of hate, aren't you? I actually said the other day, I started getting a few like comments on YouTube. I'm not going to say like hate comments, but people not happy with stuff, and I thought, oh, that must mean that I'm getting somewhere. If people aren't happy with stuff, more and more people must be watching.
with your let's talk your like your journey to becoming a content creator and your vlogs. Why vlogs? Like what made you think like this is going to be? What made you want to have that as your medium almost? Like,
Yeah. Well, firstly, saying content creator just feels so weird still. But I actually took the step the other day after like a year of posting videos on YouTube. I took the step to put in content creator in my Instagram bio and in my Twitter bio because it just feels like it feels like something, I don't know, very different. But exciting, I guess. So I love football, and like I've grown up like watching football with my parents, like going to games, support West Ham, obviously. What I like most about football, like I say, is playing, is being part of a team. And so doing the more vloggy stuff is a way of me still being a part of that and still kind of keeping my role as club captain a bit, not on the pitch, but like still being around the girls most of the time. And it's personal, isn't it? Like I do get a lot of comments about my poor camera work, but I just get so excited. If we look like we're going to score, I'm like, yeah, and then I look back at it and I've like filmed the sky. So a lot of people say, why don't you use like the proper footage, get a proper camera on a tripod, or use the VO cameras? But then you lose like the reactions on the sideline. That's what I like, and I don't know. Maybe people need to learn to like it a bit more. Maybe it's just different. That's the side of it I like, and I think it brings up people's personalities. And I'm already building like some characters. Like I don't know if you watched some of my videos, but like Sasha's got a little bit in it. Like Keris does predictions every week for the goals, and they're kind of building like little characters in it, and hopefully I can just keep that going. Also, I love doing bench cam. I just have a GoPro on the bench, and then a lot of it I have to crop out. I'm not gonna lie, a lot of it I have to bleep out as well. But seeing the reactions of the bench, I just absolutely love. And I don't know if you saw on Arsenal's Instagram the other day, they did a bit of a bench cam of Arteta.
Yeah,
I was like, they've been watching my videos.
They've been inspired.
Yeah, but yeah, that's just what I like, and hopefully other people like it as well. But I've tried to look like for inspiration and to see what other people are doing. And recently, you, Jay, tagged like a lot of accounts when we were looking at some of the like content creator awards and stuff. And I had looked through people's stuff, and I'm finding more and more pages. But when I was looking on YouTube originally to see what other people were doing, and because I never really watched a huge amount on YouTube before, so I wanted to get more into like football content. I just couldn't find anything similar. Like there's nothing. There's quite a few men's teams now, but it's still like less than 10 probably that I've really seen. But I can't find anything women's like that. There's some WSL stuff, obviously. I can't like find anything about lower teams.
I think with your content, because it's like a window into being on match day, being a player essentially, isn't it? So it's like you said, I mean, people probably are doing like vlogs and stuff, but in terms of, I don't think anyone's doing what you're doing, because no one has that access. No one has, or if they do, they don't have the relationship with the team. It's like
so possibly that's what's helped.
Like beyond, because a lot of stuff is like fly on the wall. So we'll just film it and just I'll be quiet sort of thing, and just everything happens around you. Whereas you like interacting constantly. So you're a character, aren't you, essentially as well? So I do think like you said, I don't think anyone's doing what you're doing, or not in terms of. Yeah, I mean, people are obviously doing vlogs, but like yours is a lot different. Like you offer a lot. You offer a lot more.
But that's what's so enjoyable.
The WSL teams,
I didn't mean no one's doing what I'm doing. I meant like I want there to be more. I can't find more like in a similar way of like the match day stuff, and seeing like the players on the dugout and their reactions, things like that for like the whole game. But hopefully more people do it. I have seen a couple of other teams like not making full YouTube videos, but like introducing some things like a bit of bench cam. Even things like just players watching back their footage and like having a bit of a laugh watching them do stupid things on the pitch. And actually initially I was a bit like oh god, I need to like do more and more because other people are starting to do it. And then I was like, actually it's a good thing. Like it's nice to see other people doing stuff as well, and like I'm only learning. I don't really know what I'm doing yet, But yeah, it's nice seeing more and more people doing stuff, and like I say, especially at this standard, rather than just the top tiers of football.
I think that's something, especially someone like me. I didn't really play much football. I played Sunday league until maybe 12, but I enjoy football at the same time. So I feel like it's a nice medium. Someone like me that doesn't play can just enjoy like what it's like being in a football environment. And I think even women's football, even at the top level, sometimes you don't get that access. So it's nice to get women's football access from a football team at the same time. So I think like it just takes time, like kind of like you're the one right now that's doing it, but it's like it will breach out and then more people will get into it. And I think that's the exciting thing about it being so like unique right now.
Yeah, I hope so. I hope more people start doing it. The other thing I hope is that more girls start to see it. So most of the audience is like men, like I think 18 to 24, because they're the hashtag audience. So I hope that more and more girls will start to see it as well. I'm trying to find a fine line between it being like our humour and also being like a bit younger, people friendly, so that more girls can watch it. But that's just learning curve as well and like finding my audience. But yeah, I hope more and more comes of it. And I want to do more as well. Like I'd love to do some football challenges and things like that and do a bit more of like sit down stuff with the girls. But it's just one, trying to find time to do it, and two, trying to find a way that is still my sort of style, which isn't like full professional, but is interesting to watch, if that makes sense.
Yeah,
yeah,
I was going to ask you, like, what would be like your dream piece of content? Like, you've got all the time in the world, you've got all the budget, you can get any gear sort of thing. Like, what would be like your like perfect thing to hand it over and be like, listen, I've done this. It's like creme de la creme, get off.
Realistic so far. So my realistic is like getting more of the girls doing like football challenges and stuff. But I guess bigger budget would be just going bigger, like going to different places to do stuff as well, like or playing against like higher teams. Like I know hashtag managed to do stuff, playing against a lot of higher teams, playing against like comedians, all sorts of things back in the day. So I guess doing something like that would be really cool. I haven't really thought about myself doing anything with more like professional players as well. I only have really had time to be realistic and think about like my team, but I guess that would be the dream, to do more stuff with bigger players as well. And there are some people doing that, like obviously Sam Miller, like Nance Baker, people like that are doing, like obviously it's their job, but they're doing really, really good things for the women's game, and I'd love to do stuff like that as well. But at the minute, I'm working for the NHS, I work most days, there's not much time to edit, so we'll see.
Just have to get Jay to edit. He's good at it.
Yeah, come on, Jay, help me out.
That's
the thing. Like, I'd love to do more cameras, but I've got like obviously the camera I film with, my like G7X, and then I've got a GoPro on the bench, and then I've got a GoPro behind the goal, and even that is already like 5 hours of footage to go through.
Yeah.
Plus everything else. Plus, like I said, I'm learning to use new like programs to edit with. But yeah, we'll get there.
There's so much that goes into it. Like I think that's what people like. I guess if it's on YouTube, if it's on like Twitter and stuff like that, you just see the final thing, but you don't see like how much goes into it. And I think
I definitely underestimate.
Yeah.
Did you see the Peaky Blinders edit? Like one of the editors took a picture of their Premiere Pro timeline for Peaky Blinders.
It's disgusting.
Really?
Honestly, like.
Looks like
so many like little dashes and lines and
every graphic.
I was like, I didn't know it went that high, or like, and I just look at it and think like, this is absolutely nuts. So I used to work with a person called Craig at Man City, and he was like an editor, and he'd be doing an edit, and like I'd look over his screen, and then because I used to like my editing, I started editing TikToks, super easy. Like it might have been 2 clips. All I'm doing is cutting. Yeah, like it's not anything too mad. It's more like
timing it with the music.
Yeah, you sort of just cut. Okay, I've got a minute clip here, and I want to upload 15 seconds. Let me just cut each 45 seconds out of it, and that was as like deep as it got. And I was like, yeah, wicked. Like I've done a smack job here. Like I'm so good at this. And then I'd look over at his computer and he'd have like 3 screens open.
Yeah.
I'm like, yeah, I don't even do that. And he's like, oh, you haven't, or I'll be like, can you look at this edit? And he's like, you've not even named your clips. I'm like, I know, because there's 4 of them. I know what all of them are. Like, I don't need to go and like dig through loads of stuff. But like, that's one thing that I'd love to be like amazing at.
Yeah. I mean, like, if I had the time to do it, exactly. If I had the time to do it, like, I'd love to do more and more and more. And obviously, I see videos that have just got like amazing edits, like, and I've just been using like the free stuff. So there is a lot more to come. It's kind of like taking the plunge, isn't it? Like, I'd love to be able to work less, do this more, but it's like, what do you do first? Like, if you had more time, you could do more and then possibly make more of it. It's just getting that balance, isn't it? And I'm not gonna lie, like, there's been times where because I'm still learning, like, I've uploaded stuff at totally the wrong time, and like the next day I'm like, oh my god, why did I do that? And then I'm like, oh, what's the point in this? Like, it's taking me so long, hardly anyone's watching it. But I know you've got to be consistent, and you've just got to keep going. And like, obviously, like, people remind me of that, and I see people who have started like with not many views or not many followers and have built it into something huge. And I see you guys building this and getting some really great people on it. Like, it's similar, isn't it? Like, you've just got to keep going.
I think there needs to be a big like shout out to like creators that work at the same time, because I think like there's so much that you have to do outside of this, and then you have to dedicate so much time to it at the same time. It's like that's almost like 2 jobs, but one you don't get paid for. So I think like a lot of creators that do it on the side like deserve a lot of credit, because so much goes into it that people won't see.
Yeah, definitely. And sometimes people comment on my videos like, why is this so far behind real life? Because obviously they've seen it on Twitter. And I'm like, no, just ignore Twitter. Just stick to YouTube and it's fine. I'm like, I'm trying. But I know that if I leave it like a week, then I'm a video behind. And then we have a midweek game. And then I'm 2 videos behind. And then it's just like a bit of a backlog. So I've just got to like keep being in a routine of getting it done. But obviously, yeah, life happens and then you end up being a bit behind. But I think the more practice, like the quicker you get it, obviously. But I know, like, obviously, because there's so many platforms to grow, like obviously TikTok as well. But then you've got to take everything you've done for YouTube, turn it into TikTok. It's long, and I underestimated it, and now I appreciate the work that goes into it.
It is really hard, like, and everything's so different. Like, editing for YouTube and editing for TikTok, and you're like, oh, this is too much.
Yeah.
But I always think in my head, like, I remember saying to Jay, like, oh, let's just try do one platform and get that done. But it's like it's so hard. It's just so hard because like especially when you are on multiple platforms, you're like, oh, well, I'm neglecting this one now, so I better do this over here, or vice versa. And it's like, oh, I've got followers on this one, so it seems stupid for me not to promote it here. But then you can't even watch it here, and you're just like, oh, it is another job within itself. And then like community management and stuff. Like, I think a lot of people forget. Like, I forget a lot. Like, when people are like, oh, I'm like, why is this person uploaded today? And then like I'll go on their Instagram. I'm like, oh, they're on holiday, just taking a break. They don't actually work for me. They're not actually only making this video for me.
Where is it? Yeah. Well, I did find, like, again, like I said, I'm still learning like the algorithm and stuff like that. And there's so many videos on that, isn't there? But over Christmas, we didn't have a game for a few weeks. And was it this Christmas we went into a bit of lockdown again? Yeah, we did, didn't we? And then like football got cancelled. Yeah, did we?
No, that was last Christmas.
Oh no, I had COVID. Christmas for the second time, so I missed a game, and then it meant that I went like 3 weeks without uploading a video, and then like my views dropped straight down, YouTube recommendations dropped straight down. I was just like, oh my god, I should have just uploaded something. But it's learning, isn't it? Like, you just got to keep grinding.
It's hard, like, just algorithms and stuff is like, I don't understand YouTube at all. I don't know, like, as much as I love it as a consumer, like I just can't do it. And it's just I don't know I just don't know what it is. I just find it like it's just too big. I just feel like it's too big.
Yeah. I mean, kindly Neil, who does the media at Hashtag, he helps me with some of my analytics sometimes. I'm like, Neil, I don't know what this means. And some of the guys are quite helpful as well. But sometimes they'll explain things to me, and I'm like, yeah, thanks. But yeah, we'll get there.
Let's talk Euros. Women's Euros at home.
Yeah.
It's gonna be exciting. I'm really looking forward to it. But you mentioned before we started filming, you got tickets for England, Norway. Yeah. Norway's one of Jay's teams to look out for.
I think that's gonna be the best game in the group, because obviously 100%. When I bought tickets in the pre-sale, you obviously had to register. You didn't know who were getting you didn't know the group stages yet.
Yep.
But I'm pretty happy with that, to be honest. So, yeah, good game, hopefully.
That is incredible luck. That is incredible. The fact that you got it when they first came out, because I did that as well, and I didn't get England versus Norway. I was like, if there was one game I could get, I wish it was that one. So it's incredible luck.
There might be more tickets come out, but I just picked it because obviously I've been to like a lot of. Well, I don't know why I said that. I was about to say I've been to a lot of London stadiums. I haven't, but I just wanted to go somewhere different. So Brighton. So yeah, in the summer should be good.
Brighton Stadium's good, I think.
Yeah, I've never been there, so
it's a bit further out than like Brighton. I want to say city centre, but like
it is a bit, because we were looking at like Airbnbs to take the dogs. So yeah, they should be good. But yeah, hopefully, I don't know what they're doing about like giving tickets to like schools or girls' football teams or whatever, but hopefully that's going to happen. Get more girls to go and watch. Obviously, the World Cup did huge things for the women's game. And now that this is here, hopefully that will do some good things as well.
You thinking about creating any content around it, or are you just going, oh my God, my dog's gone?
Well, don't drop it. Do you know what? I have thought about it, because when you were saying earlier about like what other things you'd want to do, I know that like game vlogs of big games do quite well, and obviously like Thogden and Thogdad obviously like are doing really, really well. I did think about it, and then I pictured myself in a stadium filming myself. When I film myself in the dugout at football to be like, say, an update, I'll go and stand next to the dugout, because otherwise the girls go, go on, Alex. and I forget what I'm saying. Oh, so it's so embarrassing. I have thought about it. I think I might.
I think like it's definitely the place to do it. Like, I feel like our women's football games, it's much more. It's like they're not gonna get on you, sort of thing. But I've seen like people do it, and like people complain about it. They're like, oh, if you wanted to film yourself, like you should have stayed at home. I'm like, no, like everyone enjoys stuff different ways. Like, and then sometimes I'm like, it's his job. Like, no one tells you what to do in your job. Like
when you're actually filming yourself, that it feels a bit cringe. Like when you watch it back, like I was saying to you earlier, if you like sound confident, it looks good, and like people can make comments like that, but the videos that people make going to games generally do pretty well. So the people watch them. He probably went home and watched it anyway.
Left a like.
Yeah. I do. That's one thing I find a bit like, I'm never really sure. Like the trick that I found sort of thing was like get a mic or use like an AirPod. Because then you've not got to be as loud. Like you're not shouting at the camera.
True.
Do you know what I mean? This is like if you're filming on your phone sort of thing. I mean, if you're doing like G7X, you'll probably have to get like an actual mic. But like on your phone, you've not got to. You can just talk, so you can have like your phone like almost down. And then if you're in stands, and you can still see.
Just show the stand, like show the double chin. Yeah, great angle.
You can just sort of like whisper, like put it in your lap and just whisper to yourself. It's been a really good game. I'm really enjoying myself. So I was like, what are you doing? Nothing.
Sending a voice note. Do you know what? I think I might give it a go. I had been thinking about it. Now you mention it, maybe I could go to another game, like a smaller game practice. Although a smaller game is probably worse, less people in the stand.
You can sit like away from people, or you'll be able to.
Yeah,
you got to like when you get to the Amex, you got to like run around and scout about. It's a little bit like it's a little bit quieter over here, so maybe I can do it here. Like, or do like classic is like backing onto. So say this is like the door when you go out into the seats. Do it like so, like pretend like my window's the door, like, and you can see the pitch. And do it like here. Then I'm out. I'm in another room, but you can tell that I'm here. And it's like, oh, I've actually just come out here because it's quiet, not because I'm shitting myself.
Well, all the tips are useful, and I'll watch some more videos and write some things down. That is one thing I'm not very good at, like planning in advance. And sometimes when I edit, I'll realise that I've been like filming and twisted the camera as I've like stopped filming. And then in the next bit I want, I've actually done the same thing. And sometimes it works out really well to be like a cool transition.
Yeah.
But most of the time, I'm very bad at doing that. Or like I'll stop filming as someone says something. I'm like, damn it. So I think that would have to be a true test of my ability to like plan a video in advance and do it properly. But yeah, because people do stuff, don't they, like getting fans' opinions for the game, like predictions. So then you've got to be confident enough to go and speak to other people.
Speak to them. But you can be able to get down like probably like pitch side, because it's much more like free flowing, and then you can get like warm-ups and stuff, and like a lot of the girls will take pictures and do stuff after. Like I think it is obviously like confidence, but like you got to start somewhere, smash it. Yeah,
you got to do it. And the thing is, I can always edit it out.
Yeah, that's
if
the
it's
beauty.
embarrassing.
Right, hang on a second.
I think it'd be really good. I think that's what, especially like women's football, like seeing it up close and stuff like that. I think people would love it.
Yeah, it's different, isn't it? And like you say, because there's less people there. I feel like, especially when you watch like WSL stuff, the players are a lot more like talkative, and they're happy to do things like that. And I know they do it with other people. I think it could work. Yeah.
I think it definitely could work. Like how your vlogs are now, it's like, it's your personality, isn't it? Like it's not, look, it's just the team. So even if it's not the team there and you're somewhere else, like we're still getting your personality, we're still getting your style.
Yeah, I'm trying to like put myself a bit more, because before I was sort of doing it like it was an official like hashtag thing, and then I thought about like the future and like where I'm gonna go with this, and then decided I needed to put myself in it a little bit more to like build a bit more of a character. But it's hard when the camera's like this close to your face. Like my arms aren't that long. It's always literally here, and it's not the best angle.
Get a stick. Get
a selfie stick.
But how like that's another thing that feels like super cringe. Like
that would be worse at a football match. I would not.
No, you can get like it's
little
like
ones.
Small, and it just means you can hold it a bit and get a little bit without it looking like telescopic, like like firing it out, because that's not the one. You got it like in someone else. That's already wheeling it back in.
Yeah, sorry about that. Sometimes the girls take like my camera and then they're like, oh, this is Alex behind the camera, and they're like, do some skills, and I'm like, I haven't got any. Give me the camera back. And you go do some.
You're like, this is my skill, please hand it back.
Yeah, I told you I like winning headers. I haven't got skills. I'm a header girl. I'm a tackles girl. Yeah, I could do that in a warm-up, I guess. I was joining in a bit.
Fire the ball really high.
Yeah,
that would actually be quite funny. I would definitely watch that little, and that would fly on TikTok as well. Like you just in selfie mode, someone pings the ball up, you run around with the phone in your hand, trying to send it off.
Where it smashes you in the face, and you've got to pretend it didn't. You wipe your tears.
Like rolled, just like off your face, camera out.
That would happen. Do you know what else I thought about doing? A Francis Bourgeois, whatever his surname is, type angle. What do you think?
Yeah, that would work.
With the GoPro on your head.
Yeah, that would really work.
Then you wouldn't have to worry about like missing goals and stuff, because you just film it the whole way.
No, facing moi.
Yeah, and then you get your reaction instead of seeing the goal. Just get your reaction of the goal.
I wonder if you could get a two-way thing. So then I wouldn't miss the goals because I'd be looking at them and get the bench reactions. Mainly
so it's that's what he uses, right? It's like a GoPro 360.
Oh, it does do both, doesn't it?
It does do both sides, doesn't it? So you could have it on your head, like down on your head like this. And then have the game going on in the background, and you like going mad.
That'd be sweet.
The only thing is, like, imagine like you just forget, you're just like, I'm just gonna fly. a bit, have something to eat, like spill some food down yourself or something. Like, actually, you're edited, so it doesn't matter. You can be like, that never happened.
Yeah, but sometimes like we eat a lot of sweets on the bench, like to the point where I'm like, does this look professional? I mean, you're supposed to eat gummies before you go on, right? Little sugar boost. But yeah, the bench, the sweets come out. And so sometimes when I'm like getting our goal camp, actually it's just us sitting there stuffing our faces, and I have to like try and edit it so we look a little bit more professional. But yeah, we like to have a bit of a laugh on the bench as well, so it's good to capture all of that. So,
so between going or the merger with hashtag, you were diagnosed with cardiomyopathy.
Yeah, that's it.
How's that affected you?
It's been hard, mostly because like day to day, like fine, and like I felt fine at football. There was nothing going on. Like I was never unwell, which is a blessing, obviously, but also a bit of a, like, for a while, made me feel a bit fraudulent because I know that's something to be grateful for. And shall I just tell you how it came about? It probably makes it easier to tell you how it came about. Is that right?
Yeah.
So my cousin died in his sleep. He was only 21, and obviously because it's like when it's a sudden death, they obviously like find out what happened, and they found that he had a type of cardiomyopathy, which people that don't know, you can kind of work it out from the word. It's like a disorder of the heart muscle, and there's a few different types, and it can be genetic. So there's a really good charity called CRY, or Cardiac Risk in the Young, which I would advise everyone to go and have a look at, because you can organise for free heart screenings on it. They like, obviously people fundraise and they can do free heart screenings. I think it's for people aged 14 to 35. Picked up a lot of people like before they've got to this point of being unwell, obviously, or even the worst happening. So I ended up getting screened through that, and I had some like few small abnormalities, but like a lot of people have some abnormal things going on. And initially, like I was told after that to stop playing football because sport can make it worse. But that wasn't good enough for me. Like I was captain, like I said, love football was my life. Like I'd always be at training, like I'd never miss anything. So yeah, that wasn't good enough for me. Kept playing football for like another year, and then I had some more like investigations done, some more MRIs, and then found that like my things had got worse. Like I had some scarring on my heart, which had got worse. So that was when they decided like, no, this is it. No more football. And it's kind of weird really, like when part of you, I don't know, I kind of knew that that might happen, but you don't think the worst, do you? Obviously. And I always just thought, oh, there'll be a way around it. Like there's a Dutch player that plays with like defibrillator, stuff like that.
Yeah.
In the Dutch league, I don't know if he's actually Dutch. And then I was at work one day, got a phone call, went to the toilet, answered, no more football. And then I literally told like my parents, and then phoned Jason, our manager. And that was it. And then like I told the girls a week later, and that was just it. And I'd done like I'd been captain, like we'd just obviously done the merger. I'd done some interviews. I did something for Sky Sports and obviously like I said, BBC Radio. And then like I'd been interviewed and stuff. And then suddenly that was just it. Like I never got to play in the hashtag kit. And also we got through to the semi-finals of the Essex County Cup. We beat our biggest rivals, Billericay, in the semi-finals and got through to the final. So we were confident we'd have won it. And then because of COVID, it got cancelled. So it was just like all these little things that, to be honest, for a while, like I wish I'd never told anyone and just got on with it. And because like I say, it's hard, like when you've not been ill. Like the last training session I ever did was sprinting, like pre-season sprints, which I'm fuming about, by the way. Last session I ever done.
Not even a fun one.
Yeah, exactly. Pre-season sprints. Shuttle runs as well, not fun. That was it. And to be honest, like I say, I felt a little bit fraudulent because there was nothing really wrong with me that I could see, obviously. And And also I didn't really fit into a category for cardiomyopathy. There's a lot of criteria and I didn't fit into any of those. So it's some sort of, there's something wrong with the heart muscle, but not kind of enough to fit into anything. So again, I felt a bit fraudulent because it was a diagnosis, but nothing like fully certain, if you see what I mean. But that also gave me a little bit of hope as well, which was quickly shut down when I had like genetic testing and stuff. But yes, I joined in a bit with training just to like keep sane. And then, to be honest, I was probably got a bit complacent and was joining in a bit too much. And then Christian Eriksen had a cardiac arrest on the pitch. And then after that, I never ever went to training again. I was like, I'm done. Because a lot of my teammates are like emergency service workers. And I just thought like, well, probably them telling me like if that was me and like that was my friends, like I'd literally feel awful. And I remember like the doctor saying to me like, you need to think of like your cousin dying as like a gift to you. Like he didn't know, he wasn't warned. Like he was sporty, he was into like water sports and stuff, and he was like he didn't have that opportunity to know, and that obviously made me like think twice about it as well. And then for a while, like I don't think I really realised like how much football was like a release for like your mental health, isn't it? Like if I had a shit day at work, I was like, at least I got training tonight. Even if it was a training session in the pouring rain, I was like, at least I got training tonight. And even stupid stuff, like I knew what day of the week it was because of football.
Training.
You know what I mean? Like it's so weird, isn't it? And then, for example, like I still remember one day at work, I work in intensive care a lot. There was a patient that wasn't very well, didn't want to get out of bed, didn't really want to do anything. And then the doctor, like the consultant, knew that they were into football. And I remember him going, "Oh, this is Alex, physio. She'll come get out of bed. She'll have a chat with you. She's really." I remember him saying, "She's a really good footballer." And I was just standing there like, "Oh my god!" I actually remember thinking like, "Oh my god, I'm not even a footballer. Like, I'm actually not a footballer anymore." And like, and then it's a bit weird, isn't it? Because like when people ask about football, I'm like, "Oh, it's easy to just say, oh, I play for blah blah blah." Do you know what I mean? And then it was all just a bit weird. I felt a bit guilty about it, to be honest. Like I was lying. I don't know. It's just weird. I've still got my football bag. I've still got my shin pads in. I've probably still got water bottles in and like snacks and stuff. I've never unpacked my last football bag. That's a bit sad, really, isn't it? But anyway, it's just, I don't know. It's just like the end of an era, isn't it? It's a lifestyle. Friends, like, it's your release, like I say, it's everything. Like since I was like 7, every single Sunday I've played football. Like my mum used to pick me up from school and drive me straight into London for training like 3 times a week. Like it's just a weird shift, isn't it? And
it's so good that you've been able to stay around the game and stay around the team though.
Yeah, exactly. And like, and for a while, like I stopped going for a bit because I didn't really have a role. Like it's a bit weird, isn't it, to be like hanging around, like sitting on the sidelines at training, just watching, doing nothing, because I didn't want to let it go. Like they're my friends, and I probably felt like a bit lost. And then I can't even remember why I thought of it. I came back from a game. I don't even know who suggested it, whether I thought about it. And I was like, if I'm standing there watching, I might as well just start filming it. And then we played Cambridge United away. And I think I told some of the guys at Hashtag that I was thinking about it, and they were like, yeah, just go for it. And I just filmed it with my phone. And like, you can't even really hear anything. Like, it's so bad. I know it's only been a year, but when I watched the first video, I was like, cringing. But I just like filmed the game and like filmed the girls on the bench talking a bit. And when I put it together and like put music to it and stuff, like I was actually like, oh, I actually really like this. And I don't know if anyone else liked it, but I just thought, like this, it was fun, it kept me involved, it let me do something rather than just standing there a bit like a mug, like not doing anything. And then sort of went from there. Sometimes I feel a little bit in the way, but the girls and our coaches, well, I know they try hard to make me not feel like that, so they've obviously been really good about it as well, and getting the camera shoved in their face. So yeah, it's gone all right so far.
I find it really interesting that you think, like you said, when you first got the diagnosis, like you felt a bit of a fraud, because it's like it felt like, well, it's like you can't see it, sort of thing. And to someone else, it's like, oh, I've got this, and they'll be like, but you're fine. Like you said, oh, you we were doing sprints last week, sort of thing.
Nothing wrong. Like, I was fit, and like I know this is a really awful thing to say, but like part of me at the time wished I'd like nothing major, obviously, but like fainted or felt dizzy or just something, so that one, I felt there was actually something wrong, and also like I was worried other people would think like, what you want about, like there's literally nothing wrong with you, so that other people would think it as well. I know no one would ever think that, but just part of me, I wish something like that had happened. I know that's really bad to say, but
it's like a valid. It'd be like a validation.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially like
validation.
Mental health wise, like you said, if you were fit, and like it's like, okay, it probably, as much as it's like a bad thing to say, it would have helped your process a lot better.
Yeah, I think so. I mean, probably one thing that did help is that I do have medical knowledge, and so like I understood. Well, I did a lot of googling, obviously, but like I generally understood like what I was being told, which probably helped as well. But yeah, it's just a weird time, and honestly, even like in January this year, I got referred to a different like specialist hospital. And I've got my hopes up. It's silly, isn't it? It's been like 2 years, and I really had my hopes up. I got really upset again, and for about a week, I wanted absolutely nothing to do with football again. And I don't know. It's just where it's a process, isn't it? It's not like linear. And honestly, I can say that's like literally the saddest I've ever been in my life. Like it was almost like a loss of something, like not a person, but yeah, like a loss. It's weird, but I've obviously been really lucky to like find something else to still be involved. Like I'm still in there when we put our hands in, like in the huddle before a game and at half time. I'm still in there like, tags.
Right, people, there we have it. Thank you so much for tuning in. Alex, thank you so much for joining us. Jay, as always, my man, I hope you feel better, and we'll catch you next time. See ya.